You know the feeling. You are reading an English article, watching a video, or listening to a conversation, and you understand every single word. But the moment you open your mouth to reply, you freeze. The words just disappear. This flowchart shows exactly what is happening in your head. When you try to talk, you are actually processing 4 separate steps. You think of the idea in your native language, translate it into English, check the grammar to see if it is correct, and only then do you speak. That delay is what causes you to hesitate. By the end of this video, we are going to build a 15-minute daily routine to delete that top path entirely. We are going to train your mind to use this direct path, moving straight from a thought to spoken English. You can start this training immediately. It targets the physical coordination between your brain and your mouth, relying on the vocabulary you already have rather than new grammar study. Step 1 is brain training. To build this engine, you have to follow one strict rule immediately. Stop translating individual words. Look at this wireframe of a normal room. Instead of looking at an object and thinking chair or phone, you need to assign a full action phrase to it. When you look at the chair, you think, I am sitting on the chair. When you see the phone, you think, my phone is right here. Keep these phrases simple. If you try to use advanced vocabulary or complex sentences right now, you will force your brain to pause and check for errors, which immediately breaks your flow. Think about how your brain retrieves information. Stitching individual words together takes active mental energy. But when you memorize a complete phrase, your brain stores it as a single, ready-made block of sound that you can drop into a conversation instantly. Prioritizing momentum over grammar creates a high-speed feedback loop. By rapidly labeling your environment with these phrase blocks, you reduce the time your brain spends searching for translations, making English thoughts feel more immediate. Now we move to step 2, physical training. Knowing English in your head does not mean your mouth knows how to pronounce it. Speaking is a physical, muscular skill, and your tongue and lips need repetition to get used to the shape of English sounds. Take the daily phrases you just built and stand in front of a mirror. Look at your own mouth and say the phrase out loud, 5 times in a row. Notice how it physically feels. The first time you say it, your tongue might stumble. It will feel clumsy. But by the 5th repetition, the movement becomes smooth and automatic. That physical flexibility prepares you for step 3, input training. To speak at a natural pace, you use a method called the shadowing technique. This interface shows exactly how shadowing works. You listen to a short piece of audio from a native speaker. You pause the audio, then you repeat the sentence out loud, matching their exact speed, tone, and emotion. Do not fall into the trap of just watching a video and silently reading the subtitles. If you are not producing sound with your mouth, you are not shadowing. Your vocal cords and your ears work together. If your ears do not actively isolate the rhythm and stress of the sentence, your mouth will not be able to physically reproduce it later. When you combine the physical repetition of the mirror drill with the audio targeting of shadowing, you force your brain and your mouth to synchronize their processing speeds. Step 4 is output training. Practicing by yourself is highly effective, but it does not solve the problem of freezing up the moment someone asks you a direct question. To simulate that pressure, we use the rapid-fire Q&A drill. You ask yourself a simple question out loud, and you force yourself to answer it in under 2 seconds. This timing graphic shows exactly how fast this air action needs to happen. You ask, where are you going? 1, 2, I am going to the store. If you try to craft a long, complex response with perfect grammar under this pressure, you will run out of time, and your brain will default right back to translating. Keep your answers extremely short. 3 or 4 basic words are all you need to establish the reflex. By putting yourself under this artificial speed limit at home, you strip away the hesitation. When a real conversation happens, responding quickly will already be a trained reaction. If you followed along, you have just mentally walked through your first complete cycle of the Fluency engine. You know how to label your environment with full phrases, train your facial muscles with the mirror drill, absorb natural rhythm through shadowing, and test your reaction time with rapid-fire questions. You can execute this entire 15-minute routine by yourself, wherever you are. You do not need a speaking partner, and you do not need a classroom. Run this exact 4-step sequence every day for the next week. Consistent daily repetition trains your brain to treat English as a reflex rather than a slow, step-by-step translation process.